Hi, it's just me, Elizaphan. How you doing? I hope you're having a good day, or you've had a good day, depending on what time you're watching this video. And today I'm going to be continuing on the series of self-expectation. And if you've not seen it, just go through the videos and look for the one that talks about self-expectation. This is a follow-up to that video, and in the video I talked about self-expectation, as in what do we expect from ourselves, what do we expect our lives to be, what dreams, what passions, what desires do you expect yourself to fulfill. And we had talked about self-awareness, that for you to have a self-expectation, you have to be aware of yourself and who you are. Now I'm just going to be reading, I'm looking down because I'm looking at the definition. I just googled it, nothing special. I'm not looking at some psychological or some magic thing, just Google. Okay, now self-awareness says is a conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. And awareness, it says knowledge or perception of a situation or fact. It talks about concern about and well-informed interest in a particular situation or development. Now, going back to self-awareness, for us to have an expectation of ourselves, just you have to know, you have to be aware of your skills, your motive. This says character, feelings, motive, desires. I'll go to expand it to say you have to know, for you to have an expectation of yourself, you have to know what character, what abilities, what strengths, what passion you have. So then based on what you find out, you're going to now set expectations, or you find out what your niche is, what it is that you love, what it is that you want to accomplish. Based on what you have or what you love doing, then you start to work with it. For example, if you're going to hire someone for a particular role, they have to have the skills, like I said in the other video, for what it is that you want to hire them for. Similarly, if you're going to start pursuing your dreams and desires, first of all, I say you need to know who you are. Then you, based on what you find out, you set goals. When you set goals, then you have expectations based on those goals. Now I think I'm explaining better the difference between expectation and goals. I talked about expectation and goals, and the slight difference. I said expectation has more of a responsibility. Goal is something you hope to achieve. So now what follows? First of all, self-awareness. You have to discover who you are. Then you follows with those goals you set for what you've discovered about yourself. Then the expectation is, what do you expect? What responsibility, what you're expected to accomplish for yourself. I hope it's easy. So first of all, we talked about you have to be we talked about self-awareness. After self-awareness, when you're self-awareness, self-discovery, you can call it the same. After self-awareness, then based on what you discover, you can set goals. Then based on what your goals are, then you can have expectations of yourself. For example, most of us don't have also talked about knowing your worth, and yes, in self-expectations, because we do not have expectations of ourselves. Now remember, because we do not have expectations of ourselves, we live our lives according to the expectations that people have of us. When you discover yourself, how do you look for those things? What are you, for example, I cook. I feel I cook very well, but I'm not passionate about cooking like my sisters. They're so passionate. My husband just discovered he loves cooking. He has a passion for it, for baking. I do it. To me, it's easy to do. Am I passionate about it? I would say no. My sisters, oh my goodness, they not only can they cook, like I can cook, just by the way, not only can they cook, they are passionate about it. It's not just a passion for me. It's not something that I'm like, oh, okay, let me just go and cook something. It's not something passionate. It's something I had to take time to discover that wasn't a passion for me. And doesn't mean that a lot of times it's like we stick to some gender specific or cultural requirements or traditional expectations of us, and we tend to follow paths and desires that have nothing to do with who we are, or it's just what we've been told. Some of us, we are working the careers or jobs based on what somebody told us. Okay, oh, I think yeah, you're going to go to school and you're going to become a medical doctor or a lawyer or whatever professional you found yourself in. Or, oh, now you're in this society, this is the career that makes a lot of money. I beg to differ. One thing that I've always said, the people that make the most money, the people that recognize in terms of monetary things, most of them were not educated. Please, I am educated. I'm not discouraging education. I'm just trying to say that it has nothing to do with what you go and learn, because these people had these things in them. They discovered it. They had a dream. They had a passion, and they went after it. So for you to have an expectation of yourself, you need to dig deep. Find out, pray about it. Ask people around you. If you notice that there's something that you have an affinity for, something that you're passionate about, then take a survey. Maybe just ask people around you, what do you think? Now, I will say you do not need permission from anybody to be who it is that you want to be, to follow those gifts. And like I said in one of my videos, if no one will build you a pedestal, no one is celebrating those abilities. Because honestly speaking, as much as I say get evaluation for those around you, if you're not careful also, if you're not in the right company, they could discourage you from being who you are supposed to be, from being who God wants you to be. So you have to take time, do an evaluation, pray about it, look for those gifts, those desires, those things that you love. It could be that, man, you just love taking care of children, or people just love when you handle children, you do a good job. It could be male and female. Do not stick with, like I said, those gender roles. It could be that as a man you love to bake. What desires do you have? What gifts, what talents do you have? When you're aware of it, then you can begin to set goals. Now, this goals and self-expectation is not all about being rich. It's not all about, it's just some things that in your life you expect to accomplish based on what you know God has given you. If you talk about the parable of the talent, one was given one had 10 talents. But the one that was given one, he out of fear buried his talent. The one that was given the most talent maximized his potential. He discovered those things and went after a full life. If you want to break down those talents, some could be wealth related, some could be one of the talents could be related to a passion, a desire, or something you volunteer for, how you affect people's lives. So it's not all about money. It's achieving greatness. So I once heard, I think in a movie, said the moment a man or a woman can discovers the purpose for their life, that is the beginning of greatness. It says the moment a man or woman discovers the purpose for his or her life, that marks the beginning of greatness. Because there's no use being a square peg in a round hole. What am I trying to say? There's no use trying to pursue something because everybody, for example, God could have called you to be someone great in a community, just a close-knit community, but the impact that you make would be much more than someone that is known and seen everywhere. There are people every day changing the lives of people. There are people that are adopting and fostering children. It could be that you're passionate for children, you want to foster a child, you want to adopt a child, or you want to foster children. Go after it. It could be that you love helping people. You could have a passion to help the elderly. You could have a passion to help animals, whatever it is. When you find that niche, when you discover yourself, when you're aware of the abilities, the innate abilities and talents that have been placed in you, then that marks the beginning of self-expectation. And it's moment we begin to fulfill those expectations of ourselves, and you will live a fulfilled life, and not just live life according to other people's dictates. Yes, I'm not saying you should not live up to other people's expectations of you. There are some things that are required of you. I mean, if you're a father, if you're a mother, there's some certain expectations you have to fulfill. But you do not live your whole life based on what society, what anybody tells you that this is it. You have to discover who you are. You have to be self-aware. Dig into those gifts and talents and the abilities you have. Set goals, then have expectations. And I pray that whatever it is that you desire to fulfill, whatever goals that you desire to fulfill, you will achieve them. Once again, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are. Some people discover, like I said, my husband just discovered after we got married, years after we got married, that he actually loves cooking and baking. He just loves it. Now, it's something that maybe growing up society may have frowned upon, or they will tell you that is not it's a woman's job to cook. Thank God I cook. I still do most of the cooking, but I'm not as passionate as it is like he is about it. He has said, at some point I'll just love to learn how to bake stuff. We watch baking and cooking shows together. So whatever it is, it's never too late. It's never too late. Like they say, it's better late than never. Don't think that you are at the end of your life. You can still discover who you are. You can still set goals. You can still have expectations, and you can still fulfill those things. God bless you. Once again, it's just me, Elizaphan. Have a wonderful day, wonderful week, wonderful month, wonderful year. And I hope this blesses somebody. Thank you. And if it blesses you, please share it. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.